Hello again, this is Heretic Prince, and oh my word, it is like Christmas came twice. Not only is there He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation, directed by Kevin Smith coming out, there's another Masters of the Universe series coming out on Netflix that is a reboot of the original. So we're getting a companion, and then we're getting a whole new series to watch. Whenever I first saw it, I thought I was reading it wrong. I thought that maybe it's some kind of rumor or something where people were misunderstanding what what Revelations was. So, just like you, I'm gonna read it, get excited, see what I think about the new plan. I'm pretty excited, and I'll tell you why. Cartoon Network had a He-Man series that ran on for a while that I really liked. I felt like they stayed true to the original, but updated it. They gave it a better story. And I know people probably won't like hearing that about He-Man, but He-Man was an 80s cartoon for children, so it was like full of morals and stuff. And then they came up with this new one where the stories were a little bit more complex. And I'm hoping that they can capture that for this new series. But you know what? I've done enough jaw jacking. Let's get into it. Let's find out what they have to say. New He-Man and the Masters of the Universe animated series coming to Netflix. Written by Eric Diaz. This is on the Nerdist, by the way. Get ready to raise your mighty sword aloft once again and yell, "By the power of Grayskull." Netflix has announced the return of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in an all-new animated CGI animated series. That's a little redundant. Yes, this is in addition to the previously announced Masters of the Universe Revelation anime series coming to us from Kevin Smith. This is what I was saying. This is where I was confused. I honestly thought that people were getting the two mixed up, but no, we are getting double the dose. This new series, made in partnership with Mattel Television, will reimagine the Masters of the Universe classic tale with all new storylines and a fresh take on the iconic characters. You can check out the first preview art as well as the series' first official synopsis below. Now, as always, it's scary whenever somebody says, "Oh, we've got a fresh take on the old story." It's like, you can't change it too much. The reason why there is an interest in He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is because people like the way it was. So just stay true to that. Don't neuter it. Don't do the Hollywood thing. You know what I mean. On the planet of Eternia, a young lost prince discovers the powers of Grayskull and transforms into He-Man, Master of the Universe. The classic battle between He-Man and evil Skeletor rages to new heights as both hero and villain forge new mighty teams. A generation of heroes fighting for the fate of us all. In the end, who will become the Master of the Universe? God, that is such a good poster. I'm really digging that. From the sound of things, it doesn't look like it will stray too far from the classic formula, thank God, that made the original series and toy line so massively popular decades ago. And the teaser image certainly evokes the He-Man of yesteryear. This new series has a well-known assortment of names behind it that should be familiar to animation and comics fandom. The show is being executive produced by Adam Bonnet, The Descendants. I don't know what that is. Christopher Keenan, Justice League, and Rob David, Masters of the Universe Revelation, of course. Jeff Matsuda, The Batman. I really like that show. If you ever get a chance to watch it, it's a little different. It's a different take on Batman, but it's really good. Susan Corbin of Voltron, and Arrow's Brian Q. Miller. Mattel's Fred Soleil, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Fred Soleil said in a statement that Masters of the Universe is one of the most iconic global franchises of all time, with a 30-year history and a passionate fan base. You ain't kidding, brother. The entire team at Mattel is excited to introduce the world of He-Man to a new generation, and together with the talented team at Netflix, to reimagine the classic characters in a way that appeals to kids and families of today, while also resonating with the fans who grew up with them. You need to appeal to the people who grew up with them. The others will come. I'm sorry, get mad at me all you want, but there's a reason why people today are kind of liking He-Man, because of the past. I don't know if this is new or not, but it is very reminiscent of like the old small comic books that used to come with the packaging. This new series means that going forward, Mattel and Netflix are approaching the Masters franchise in a very interesting way. They are extending the continuity of the original 80s Filmation series with Kevin Smith's Revelation, and also rebooting it with this new show. Oh, and She-Ra, the Princesses of Power, is still out there, which is a universe all its own. Is it connected to the new show? Should we be calling this franchise Masters of the Multiverse instead?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
No. For the love of all things, no. 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 Jeez, no. Actually, that's the title of a current comic from DC. Maybe the seeds for a He-Man multiverse are being planted right there. That's fine. As long as you want to bring She-Ra into it, bring the real She-Ra into it. Okay? That's all I ask. You know who I'm talking about. In addition, plans are still in the cards for the live-action Masters of the Universe movie from Sony to land in 2021. Rumors have been circulating that it may be possible to forego theaters and go straight to Netflix, which would make this the streamer and main home for all things He-Man. I misread the hell out of that, but whatever, I'm keeping it. The idea, there's going to be 2 new He-Man series, or Masters of the Universe series, and then a movie. Anybody else a bit concerned that maybe there'll be a burnout? I know there won't be a burnout on this, Ant. Look, sorry, I can't get enough of the big dumb blonde. Can't help it. Although, we must add that these are still rumors, and the movie currently does have a theatrical release date of March 21st of that year. But regardless of where it lands, one thing is for sure, and that is that the next couple of years are going to be epics for fans of all things Eternian. I tell ya, I'm looking really forward to this. Well then, everybody, what do you think? What do you think's coming down the line for us? I don't mean in Revelation or the movie. That we can discuss that in some other time. But this new series, where they reboot it, are they going to do us like they did with She-Ra and make it a kids show? Or are they going to make it a young adult show, or even one that maybe appeals to adults? I look at the art style, and it could really go any way. I'm being selfish, but I really hope that it's more made for adults, because let's face it, the people who grew up watching this are all grown up now. They're in their 30s and 40s. Okay, the kids got She-Ra. That show is 100% for the kids, and yeah, the fewer things I say about that, the better, because I'll get it incredibly negative. I really couldn't stomach it. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you think that we got coming down the line? What are they going to do with Skeletor and Evil Lyn? My God, those two were just ripe for awesome stories. You know, with Revelation, I understand that it's going to be following Teela somewhat, and I'm like, fuck He-Man and Teela. What's going on with Skeletor and Evil Lyn? Those two were schemers. They were ripe for drama. Not to mention, I think Evil Lyn's hot, but that's just me. Yep, I can't help it. I love my evil women. Anyway, Those of you who made it to the end, thank you very much for listening. If you feel so inclined, leave a like, possibly even subscribe, maybe. But yeah, for most part, the big thing I want is leave a comment, because I love He-Man from back in the day. If you're here, most likely you do too. And hell, we'll just discuss whatever it is that's coming our way. Hey, thank you very much for listening. You have a good night.